So, human robots are becoming a reality. A Tesla bot is coming out. Let's share my views on it. Let's get into it. Hi everyone, welcome to S.M.E Talks. Before we get into the video, please remember to feed the algorithm gods with liking the video, subscribing and enabling the bell. Thank you for all your support and interaction with my content. So I watched the video by Marques Brownlee sharing his take on the Tesla bot, which I found very insightful and interesting. But I think I'll have my own point of views and some disagreements with his take on the Tesla bot. So probably you've seen the announcements from Tesla about the AI innovations that they undertaken, the self-driving Teslas which been launched already and in the market, and the path that they are pushing with their offerings with the robots, human-like robots. So the video that I watched by Marques Brownlee is his analysis on the human form, the limitations that the human form would have, and actually it makes better sense to make robots that are functional and they are specialized on a specific type of a task. So you make a robot to move things, you make a robot to do things underwater, you make a robot to do specific task and do it extremely well and not be limited by the human form. And to be honest with you, I agree with his viewpoint 100%. However, for things to be successful and for things to be popular and for things to make a mark for particular brands and companies, they don't need to be functional. Sometimes the perception of the consumer, the perception of us as a human, is the biggest factor, regardless how successful or how practical or how functional the item is. We've always been fascinated, right, by the human shape, by having a robot that looks like a human. The Terminator, right? One of the biggest franchises in the sci-fi industry. Think about it. People who are extremely wealthy, how much would they pay for a robot that would be a maid? A robot that would say specific jokes? A robot who would sound like a celebrity and entertain their guests, serve them drinks? A robot who would take selfies for them or take photos for them and parties, maybe sing even. Who knows, right? The things that the extremely wealthy are willing to pay just simply to show off, they would stop at nothing really. The fact you could having that one kind of a robot at your position that you could show off to your friends, that would be a big market, I think. And also back to the announcement by Tesla, they did kind of expand on getting these robots to do specific kind of jobs that are repetitive, that would take the danger away from humans. Basically, it's another tool to replace the workforce, let's be honest, right? It would be a cheaper form of less skilled workforce. But the fact that these robots would be driven by AI, why can't they be a gardener, right? You would get one of these bots who specializes in gardening, having the tools, the hands open, having the scissors, the saws, all that stuff, and shape your trees and do the planting. And you probably can feed the garden plan into the operating system and they'll go and just do it. Probably they'll still need a human and sort of an architect or a designer to feed the software, but that's a possibility. You could, same if you move in house and you have the interior designer having the plan around, the plan of where things will go in the house, right? And let's say that you shop from IKEA. You could program it. This item gets assembled and then placed in this place. You probably get a couple of bots. They will work 24/7, and in a couple of days, the things will be fixed, set up from IKEA or a sort of a a sort of a brand that's similar to IKEA. They follow the digital blueprint, set up the items, follow the interior designer instructions from the operating system, and they'll get the thing done. I think we can be amazed of the applications that these robots will be capable of doing. However, there is another side into it. I think we need to delve a little bit into the I think the security and defense side of things will have one of the biggest applications in this. The reason being is how we perceive these things. Imagine if you looked at an armed law enforcement robot with a gun or with a sort of a weapon, right? I think that the fear or the reaction that we will get from such robots, it can't be undermined. Well, there will be lots of legalities. It will be probably not the easiest task for that to be commercialized in such way, but I think definitely will be something. Definitely, whether the human shape. But, like Boston Robotics, are you telling me all these innovations they make is not going to be used in security and defense industry and military industry, the military complex? Absolutely. I think definitely we will see them in one form or the other. If you think about it, for example, if you look at the US, especially in the past couple of years, the police have been getting really such a bad rep internationally. I'm not in the US, I've never been there. I just watch the news and follow social media. And probably being a police officer in the US is the toughest job now because nobody likes you. Unfortunately, it's, however, well, think about it. The way they can pitch the idea. Imagine that you have a law enforcing robot that follows the laws into the T. There will not be prejudice against you. They will not be driven by emotions. They'll not be driven by so and so and so, and they will just follow the law. That could be something that can be pushed. This sounds like a bit, maybe not a fact-based analysis. Maybe I watched too many movies in my childhood, and I wish to see a RoboCop walking the streets and a Terminator-like law enforcement officer. Maybe there is that, and I'm just talking nonsense. But sometimes these kind of things, we think they're nonsense, but they happen. So I can understand why Tesla are making a humanoid form. It's not only driven by functionality, but also I think by the perception of people. And sometimes, or many times, you would need a human-shaped robot to do different things that we would perceive them in a better way, like with the examples that I used. I would be keen, actually, to hear your opinions. And do you think the latter bit of this video, the things that I anticipate to happen in the distant future, do you think that will happen? Do you think I'm just I watched too many movies? Would be interesting to see your point of view. To be honest with you, I think AI and technology will shape the future, no doubt. Whether there is a robot-based implementation of it or not, maybe not, but they will definitely shape the future. There is no question asked about it. Blockchain technology will shape the future. We are living in a technology-based reality. Whether we accept it or not, that's one thing, but it's happening, and we will definitely see more changes and bigger life impacting changes in the future, no doubt. Hopefully, most of these changes will be good and for the benefit of all of us. I hope you enjoyed the video. Can't wait to read your comment. See you in the next video, and take care for now.